Well, the day is well spent. I must say that everybody is happy at what is happening in Lagos, and the energy in the room is high. Let me stand on all existing protocols and give thanks to the Honorable Commissioner for organizing this session. So, it's a big topic we are talking about. How do we get Lagos consumers incentivized for adopting renewable energy? Media, please, can we have the slide? Okay, waiting on when the media will have the slide ready. I think it's just 10, 15 minutes on my side to speak on this topic. So, basically, let's start by looking at the energy mix in Lagos. Many distinguished gentlemen have spoken today advocating how gas can impact on the energy mix. But what is critical is how does renewables actually fit into this. And if you look at the slide, we have a mix of all energy efficient products that we are looking at. How is it that we can create an electricity market with which people can adopt these assets and still be able to make the transition? So let's go to the next slide. So to go on this slide, or rather to address this topic, we have to just look at why government. What is the business of government? We must understand what government stands for and what it is aimed to do before we can understand why government has to provide these incentives as well. Government is just about people. The core business of government and why government exists is about the people. So government has to create such an enabling environment to allow the people to do what? To thrive. And like we can see the happy people in Lagos enjoying themselves because of what? Government. So government exists because of the people. Next slide. So for the people to be able to enjoy the benefit of government, we have to look at how does the energy in Lagos State work. These 4.5 million generators, either I pass my neighbor, I'm bigger than my neighbor, or I'm aspiring to, generate more power for myself, or contribute to CO2 emission in Lagos State. From another study, Lagos has about 1.8 million vehicles on the road. And these 1.8 million vehicles are all consuming fossil fuel and are all emitting carbon. A World Bank study also has shown that there is associated high death rate associated with what? Carbon pollution. And most of us in Lagos today, if you don't have an air conditioner, you will not be comfortable simply because everywhere is too hot. We are blaming the ocean, but also it is our lifestyle within Lagos that is also causing it. So we have energy coming from the grid, from gas plants, and renewables. And renewables are just a little portion of this energy mix. Next slide, media. So we can see from transportation to energy, to the healthcare, and to the general energy demand of Lagos, that only a certain little portion of it is met. And if you check it nationally, it is still the same issue everywhere you go. So how do we redress this? And what is critical for us in Lagos is that this is a city of over 20 million people. Next slide. So the energy demanding part comes from primarily consumer products, electric ICU vehicles that are on the road, diesel gensets that are on the road, and cooling systems in the market. And we also have huge losses associated in the market due to non-availability of power. So power non-availability is not something we have to overstress at this session. It is already a known case that there is little or no power in the country. And how do we address this? And how do we mitigate against this? So hence, renewables, easy to deploy, fast to access. And we'll talk of rooftop solar. Rooftop solar, next slide, we provide instant access to power no matter where you are within the Lagos market and nationally. And the level of rooftop solar currently deployed is quite low and can easily be a bridging gap. I heard experts speak about, the distribution lines and all that. But with rooftop solar, we can reach thousands and millions of citizens in one sweep. And it can be a mitigating factor for powering our markets or powering our healthcare institutions, powering our schools, So it is an easy source of a quick win. And what will rooftop solar do? Rooftop solar will send these 4.5 million generators back home. There's a lady, the lodger of Shomolu Market, that we work with to deploy the cold storage that was showcased at the beginning of this session. She made a joke that now her generator is doing what? Resting in peace. I told your lodger, permit me to quote you that your mantra now is that my generator is resting in peace. So we can displace 4.5 million generators in Lagos with rooftop solar if it is adopted. And we will now talk about the incentive for those adaptations. So next slide. Mini grids in our commercial centers, in our communities, can reduce and remove generators as well. Because what we are talking of, how do we have a better lifestyle? And these are what we have done with REA, World Bank, and UNDP in this regard. Then next slide, please. The cooling storage solution, example of what we have done in Olalaye market, and we can repeat in many more markets, all we reduce carbon emission. Next slide. We have e-mobility and e-charging stations that will be able to send or displace 1.8 million vehicles that are also consuming energy not just energy, polluting the environment with a CO2 emission. So we have started driving the charge in e-mobility with two-wheeler, three-wheelers, and we should have been at this event with one of them, but thanks to Nigerian Customs Service, and that is how easy it is to do business in Nigeria. A vehicle that have been at the port for almost 1 month, just waiting for a brand name registration with Nigerian Customs Service, and later we have to pay demurrage. But one customer told me this is founder's pain, so first mover's pain. So we are bearing the pain at Cloud Energy, and we'll get it there. Hopefully we'll have another opportunity to launch this in a bigger way with His Excellency and the Commissioner. So nothing is lost, it is only time that we will also gain back. So next slide, please. So we are looking at how do we also catalyze growth in the riverine communities. So we have solar dryers that will be able to convert waste, post-harvest waste from fish farming, and they catalyze the use of the coastlines in Lagos, because we have so much water bodies that aquaculture can be a big portion of our GDP. And Professor Najiri did mention something that we all have to bear in mind, that with the increase of GDP, there is an increase in what? In power consumption. So this power challenge is not just about today, it is an existential issue. So that whatever you see is the power challenge today is just a nursery rhyme to what will be the power challenge tomorrow. Because once people get comfortable, their appetite grows, they demand more power, and what happens? They buy more gadgets. When they buy more gadgets, they become more successful, they buy more gadgets. So in the world of AI, we hear that one AI click is like several servers open. So there's going to be continual power increase, power demand. So it is caused on us to use all the resources we have. And one good thing that happens to us, I say providentially, we are the most luckiest people in the world. We are positioned in a part of the world where all resources are available, and it is just for us to catalyze all of them for growth. Next slide. So what are the incentives that government has to put in place to make it easier for citizens to have access to these forms of energy? Policies. You cannot take away the impact of policies. If there is a credible policy in place, there will be ease of investment, and somebody bringing his money to the market will be able to do what? Say, okay, I am confident that I'm not wasting my time. Standards. Government should be a key player in enforcing and implementing standards. Now, there is so much disruption in the market from people who bring in Tokumbo solar panels to reuse lithium batteries, to all kind of proliferation in the market, and nobody is checking them because there is no standard, there is no consequences for bad behavior. And this gives the industry a bad name. They say, solar doesn't work. You don't know whether it's a solar that has lasted the end of its life and washed and brought to the market. Meanwhile, government is the last arbiter to set up standards that allow people to have a good behavior. Now, will I buy an electric car in Lagos? What is the benefit or incentive that the government can give me? Will I have free parking in some government-designated parking area? Will there be rebates? And most inclusively, how do we catalyze assets and investment people have in the society to drive about a transition? One of the biggest barriers to people adopting renewables is how much it costs them to transition. And that transition is not easy if you don't have a deep pocket. That's why we have financiers like Sterling Bank, FCMB, and Stanbic, who are trying to raise local capital towards leveraging and making it easy for people to transition. Is it possible that for a resident in Lagos State with his land use title to be able to access financing? Can the Lagos State government create a credit union based on people existing assets and facility and use that credit union as a guarantee for them to have access to pay for renewable because their property is already in Lagos, right? They're not going to carry their homes away. Why do we make access and transition from one stage to another very difficult? That a bank will ask you to pay 35-40% interest rate just because you want to transition to a clean energy. And can we create a group carbon credits chain? Something interesting happened to my sister in Ireland. One day she smiled and told me that she received $400 thanks to carbon credit. Next slide. Yes, carbon credit. At home, she got paid because the government is looking at carbon emission and what is it that citizens can do. Next slide, please. So we call on government to create this incentive because it is good for government. Jobs are generated, people live a better life, and they have steady electricity. So next slide. So this is a market initiative. Next slide. These are a few things we have done at Cloud Energy. Next slide. These are partners that we have worked with. And next slide. I just said government exists because of the people. And we have to do what? Give power to the people. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.